What is up, everybody? Happy Friday, happy Saturday,
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. It is game day. We are coming to you first time historic. This is outside, this is live from the stadium, from the tailgate, section 233. Shout
Cheers.
out. Yep, cheers, everybody. Yeah, there, where you at?
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Yes, we are coming to you live, semi-live, maybe a little bit more moving forward. So bear with us if the cameras kind of move around. We're doing the best we can. It's a little windy, but otherwise, a damn perfect day for some footy, right?
We
are ready for 3
Charlotte
points.
FC win.
For 3 points, absolutely. But yeah, we wanted to bring it to you live since we had the game today. We'll talk a little bit about that, but yeah, first things first, we got to recap the game from Saturday night. Exciting game, if nothing else, right? So it didn't start out that way,
No.
right? So started
Second half
out,
was exciting.
yeah. So final score: Charlotte 2, Cincinnati 2. Kind of a tale of two halves, which if you follow
Kind of
our
Charlotte
show and
FC.
follow Charlotte FC at all, that's pretty much par for the course, right? Started out not so great. Yeah, it wasn't terrible, except for at the end when they scored their 2 goals, right? And it was their 2 main players. We talked about them last week. Evander and Denke were the 2 goal scorers for them in the first half. Going to half, we're throwing our hands up in there. What the hell's going on? Like, how do we fix this? And then, sure enough, came out in the second half, guns a-blazing, scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. First one, help me out. Oh, it was Toklamati off a nice header from Ream. And then the second goal, literally just a minute and a half later, nice pass in from Gianni to Biel. Biel top bins is it.
Yeah.
We won't talk about it. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's 2-2. Felt like we had the momentum to get that third, but just never could quite get it. Wanted to shout out for the game, though. Definitely players of the game were our center backs, Ream, and certainly Morris and Ajamon
100%.
putting his body on the line there at the end to kind of save
Man
the
of the
game
match.
for us. Man of the match, wore the crown at the end.
Deserved
And
it.
really just everybody in the middle, I thought. I mean, I thought Gianni had a good game. Obviously, Pep Biel scored the goal, was, pretty impactful throughout, I would say. But it was the wide players, I think, that left a little bit to be desired.
Yep.
Specifically, Zaha didn't have much to
100%.
do in the game, I didn't feel like. Both wingers, or both backs, I should say, Nathan Byrne and Schnegg on the other side, I thought they were there, but that's about all it was, right? Not too much impact there. But at the end of the day, it got us a point, something we have been lacking for the last, 4 or 5 games in a row. So nice to get at least a point, get a result coming back to the bank. You guys have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think my takeaway was, Zaha really needs Topolo on that left
100%.
side. They seem to have a great connection, not so much with Schnegg.
Yes.
Zaha didn't get the ball enough, in my opinion. I think he was irritated about that.
Walked right off
after the game. Yeah. I did watch the Dean presser, and he talked about how, the goal from Evander was, he thinks only 2 or 3 players in all of MLS score that. So it was all worldy. But I'll tell you, after coming back, 2 goals in a minute and a half, I thought we were going to pull ahead, and then it was just, we flat. It was just flatline kind of.
It was bedlam there for that little
yeah.
bit. And just felt like we could have gotten it, didn't quite. Anything to add on that end?
I mean, I agree. I think Zaha kind of was non-existent for him to be back on the pitch. I thought it was just like me. I mean, I wish we could put together 2 halves of football. It'd be nice to see what our what do you call it? Your record would be if you actually play 2 halves of soccer. I mean, after all, 2 halves do make a whole, so it'd be nice to have a whole complete game.
Look at that third grade.
It does give us something to look forward to in the
That's
second
true.
half
Yeah,
every
never
game.
put it
I'd say we
together.
know we're going to pick it up, but dang, it'd be nice to start that way. I
For
do
sure.
agree.
And I thought Toklamati was kind of unexistent until he got his goal. But I mean, he got
On
a
a
goal.
silver
so
platter.
Yeah.
I mean, he should
Although
have.
I'll say-
Although I will say he should have had that one in the first half.
That's right.
I was like, you legitly just missed. Legitly, that's interesting.
New word?
Like, how'd you miss that? But I mean, I was happy to get a point. Actually, I was surprised we even got a point from that. For where we were at halftime, I never would have put the fact we would have walked away with a point. So we'll take it as a win.
Absolutely.
I will
As
say
a
Toklamati,
tie for a win.
He had that early shot in the second half, which I felt like just, they came out on the front foot, and I think that early shot helped, just help the team. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it was something. I mean, just to put pressure on them. And you look at the stats at the end of the game. I mean, it was about even on the possession, but we had far more touches in their third, right?
Yeah.
We had more shots overall. I think it was tied shots on goal. Fairly even game, but when you look at it, I think Charlotte was the better of the two. Just couldn't quite sneak out that third goal, but it was promising compared to what we had seen. specifically, like I said, in the middle of the pitch. All of those players in the middle I thought played well.
Well, and I would also say we actually have players in the box. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see some players in the box.
Absolutely.
And like if there would have been some rebounds, although we could take some shots, so hopefully we get those deflected or rebounds. We actually have people there that could have done something with it. So it was nice to see more than just your lone striker up there.
Not to my own horn, but 2-2. I did call the 2-2 draw on this one.
Okay.
I do think it's a building block to what's to come. So,
Absolutely. Hopefully into tonight when we play NYCFC for the second time in, 3 or 4 weeks. So we'll talk more about that one in a second. But we'll move on kind of to the next section here. News for the week. Not a lot. Obviously, playing a midweek game, not a lot has happened between Saturday and now Wednesday. I guess the one noteworthy thing, our cap, he is out for the game this week, not because of injury, but yellow card accumulation. We've had a couple of those
back
now.
and forth of refs.
Absolutely, which
every year
happens.
he misses one game.
At least one.
At least one. This one's kind of early, so hopefully he doesn't miss 2. But he is missing tonight. Take that for what it's worth. But then really nothing else on the Charlotte FC news front. But what about, Amy? Anything on the Crown Legacy?
So
spotlight?
Legacy didn't have their best week, although they have been having really awesome weeks. So it's kind of, you're going to have a down week.
You miss a loco for
yeah,
sure.
they do miss a loco.
Yes.
They drew against Orlando, but they did win on penalties, 5-4. But then they did get handed their first loss of the season by Chicago, number 2. It was a 3-2 loss. They did play that game in Chicago. So they did drop into a tie for first with Red Bull New York.
They've been on the road a lot.
But,
I was going to say, they've been getting their points. Obviously, losing a loco, I mean, a player like that from the team is going to, it's going to have to cause some sort of ripple effect, and I think we're seeing that. But still first place, still their only loss of the season, so hopefully they can rebound and kind of move it forward. But not much else to add there. I guess what we have next around the league, we'll move right into that as well. Little different this week, just like this whole setting and everything else, right? We didn't feel like we needed to go through scores when there's going to be a lot of games tonight and then some more to come on Saturday. So we're getting to about that quarter point of the season, a little bit past the quarter pole, which is not actually the quarter pole if you know horse racing, but we'll talk about that's a different story for a different day. Yeah, well, that was last week or whatever that was with the Derby. But at this point in the season, I think it's good to maybe assess. And so I just wanted us to maybe pick a couple of teams that we thought were maybe surprises, either good or bad. Like, who do we think has kind of surprised this season? And Ryan, I guess I'll start with you.
Yeah, for me, the biggest surprise is San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Bruce Arena has come in and stabilized that team, and they're not giving up many goals, and they're scoring goals. They added Timo Werner. I think they're still leading the West.
Yes, only one loss so far.
I mean, I think they have a ridiculous number of points, like 28 points already or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're my surprise of the season so far.
Hard to disagree. I think they were picked 6-7-ish for the season, right? And they're right up there. I mean, literally leading the Supporters Shield right now. So certainly a surprise. Do you think it's sustainable? Nice fireworks going off. Hey, it's an hour before game time. We're going to get that live. That's what's up. But do you think that's sustainable for San Jose, or going to drop back a little?
I think they're going to drop back a little bit.
Yeah.
I think they've surprised a lot of teams, but I don't think they're a surprise or people are taking them lightly anymore. So I expect them to come back a little bit, but I don't think they're going to come back too much.
I would put Bruce Arena against anybody in MLS.
He's
probably the GOAT.
I'm just saying, he
MLS
obviously
GOAT
is making some things happen.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I mean, with a person leading your team, I think we'll have to wait and see, but I think they're kind of here to stay.
Yeah. You think they're going to win Supporters Shield?
I mean, as of right now, I think, I'll call it right now.
Bold prediction. Bold
prediction. Heard it here first.
Supporters Shield winner this year is going to come from the West.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That part, I still, Vancouver's tough. I do think that
I'm going San Jose.
We'll see. Yeah, like
Vancouver is going to have to leave their city.
That part's true. Different city, but still, all these points, but seems unfair. Amy, what about
I'll give you a team that's not winning the Supporters Shield this year.
Yes.
Although they did win it last year.
Correct.
I don't know why you win a Supporter Shield and then completely revamp and do an overhaul of your team, but that's what Philadelphia Union has done this year, and so far not working out for them. I'm not mad either because you're in our conference, but I don't really see it turning around that much for Philadelphia. I think they'll be lucky to make the playoffs. They just don't have a lot happening right for them. I think they've invested in some signings and some young talent that I just don't think they've proven on the pitch.
Yep.
And you have guys that you haven't been able to replace, and without replacing them, I think you're going to struggle. I think this is definitely a growing pain year for Philadelphia.
Averaging less than half a point per game. so far this season for Philadelphia.
Rough.
I mean, just a terrible, terrible start. I do think they'll obviously pick it up. I would ask you the same question: is this sustainable? I do think they'll get better, right? But I mean, how much better? Not enough to make the playoffs, right?
They do only have a
Playoffs.
26 and a hey, nice straight lines.
Yeah.
Nice 26.5% on shot target accuracy.
Say that one again
Is
for
that
the
good?
people.
26 and they've only shot on target, shots on
26.
goal, 26.5%. So, you're not going to score a lot with that shooting accuracy or percentage, and that doesn't look like you're going to turn around that either. So
Fair.
Same question then. Do they win the wooden spoon? The last place team.
There we go.
Or you got another prediction?
no, I'm going to hope that one of our teams like DC or Atlanta give them a run for that.
I'm hoping it's Atlanta, but they've been kind of turning it around
Yeah, they
themselves.
kinda have to,
We're not going to talk about them too much.
Is it SKC? They only have like
Oh,
4
yeah,
points.
SKC.
I'm calling SKC.
And yeah, St. Louis down there as well, who we played earlier. But yeah, any of those teams up there for it. Shocking that it's them, considering they won the Supporter Shield last year. Life comes at you fast sometimes, and certainly has for Philadelphia.
So who are you? You have a trend or a staying power?
Yeah, so I feel like I got maybe the more very surprised team, in my opinion, New England. Right, I remember doing a double and even maybe triple take just when we were kind of recapping that game or previewing that game rather last time. Obviously, we took the L in the final minute of that game.
Crappy.
But yeah, they're sitting in second place in the East right now. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Nope.
So credit them so far. I'll go ahead and answer the next part of that. Do I think it's sustainable? I do not.
No.
I think that if you go look at the stats and just kind of where they sit, I mean, they are at the bottom, very bottom, or just above the bottom in most major stats. I mean, they've been getting it done by just, kind of sitting back and absorbing and then getting that late goal. I mean, exactly the way they beat us is how they seem to beat every team right now, carbon copy. And over the long haul, I just don't see that being a sustainable way to win.
Yeah.
Not to say that they won't make the playoffs or anything like that, but I do not see them finishing second. I think they'll finish somewhere second time today around that 6-7, right? And I do think they are a first-round exit personally, just based on the talent of that group. But
we finish ahead of them.
Yes,
that's a great question.
Yes, we finish in front of them. Yes, I'm not going to say anything
You
else.
sound very confident.
Yeah, very
As
confident.
of today,
Yeah.
yes, we finish ahead of them.
That is my thought. I think we have a lot more talent than them, and I
Yes.
think we have some things to come. Maybe Zoran has some things up his sleeve for
Well,
post World Cup and should bolster the team.
Good.
Not sure that that's going to be the case for New England, so I do think they take a step back, but still shout them out. Great start to the season. Moving forward, put a crown on that one as we like to do.
So how about a preview?
Yeah, so again, a little bit different this week. I'm 2 games always kind of messes us up a little bit, so
You
really
previewing
quickly.
tonight or Saturday?
Right now, we're going to go ahead and preview next week's game, and this is really just more of a PSA than anything, so you guys
Next week
know.
being Saturday.
Next week being Saturday, when you're probably going to watch this. So Saturday,
So you're
maybe, what's the day? 13, 14,
No,
15, 16. I think it's around the 17th.
no,
Whatever
it's
this Saturday.
16.
May 16th, 7:30 p.m. at the Bank. Charlotte will host Toronto FC. Toronto's, they're not doing great, but they are, right behind us, 1 point right now. So they've looked okay. They have a head coach in Robin Fraser. It's his second year. They obviously brought in maybe the premier signing of the offseason, even though it was kind of in the middle of the season. But still, they did sign, obviously, Josh Sargent.
He's a little banged up.
Yeah, I was going to say, not off to a great start, banged up, injury. I think he's played 6 games so far, has 2 goals, so not a huge tally, but he's obviously a huge talent. I think he actually set the transfer fee record for the MLS when they got him signed this year. So, great player, somebody we'll have to contend with next week. But again, that's next week.
It sounds Saturday.
That's next week. Next
game.
Next game, not next
it's
week.
4 days from now.
Math's hard
3 days.
sometimes. Guys,
3 days.
yeah. So whenever you guys watch this, again, 7:30 Saturday, May 16th,
At the Bank.
Toronto. Be here or be a loser. How could you not enjoy being right here, 7:30 on Saturday?
That's right.
But for
You
now,
should be here right now.
you should be here right now because we have a game in quite literally an hour and 10 minutes as we film this. Right? It is New York City FC, NYCFC for short. That's who we have this week. Not much to recap or preview, rather.
No.
We just did this
We did
game
just
a couple
play
weeks
them.
ago. I
Yeah.
feel like we do this recap a lot. Obviously played them in the playoffs last year. Seemed to have a lot of matchups against this particular team. We know what to expect out of them, right? They are going to be a team that is very fundamentally sound. They know, kind of how to just absorb, and same thing we talked about, very tactful, have a good front line that we're going to have to be able to defend against. But yeah, not much to say other than that. I would just say, what are we thinking? What are we feeling for this game? What's the key players, I guess, is what I would say. What's it going to come down to?
I think you need to put, I think your replacement for Westy tonight is Bronico. I think Bronico needs to be in the game. He needs to play. I think he just brings that veteran voice, that calm that we're going to need. I think someone's going to have to hype up the guys because, we're kind of creatures of habit in every literal way of like one-half teams. So we aren't big on like games that outside of the norm Saturday at 7:30. So I think we're going to need someone to amp them up, and Westy's not there to do that. So I think Brant's going to play a particularly important part of this. And I'd like to see Zaha do something. I think hopefully maybe him and Schneider have had some time to like get some things happening together. But I think it'll be important for Brant and Zaha to show up tonight.
Yeah, that's actually the same that I had. Whoever the Westwood replacement is tonight is the key player. But I'm gonna, since you kind of touched on Brant or that Westwood replacement, I'm gonna say Zaha. I think he's angry from the last game.
Sure.
We like an angry Zaha as long as he's not yelling at the opposing team and the referee.
And getting
we like him angry on the pitch and to make a difference. I think they're gonna feed him the ball tonight, and I think he's gonna be the difference.
He was clearly the difference in the second half of the game last time we played him. Again, that was 2-1 victory for Charlotte just a couple of weeks ago, and it was that second half Zaha that we saw the vintage. He had that pass over to had the move first, and then obviously the pass to Tofolo at the time, the one touch at the Toklamani, arguably our best team goal of the season. I would say it was very pretty goal. But yeah, certainly I would say Zaha's up there. My two keys for the game today, or two key players rather for the game today.
Gianni.
Definitely Gianni. I have a love affair with that guy. When he plays well.
I can guess your two players.
It's going to be Gianni. Well, I would hope so. I did write it down. But at the same time, yes. Gianni for sure. I do agree with you that Bronico is going to come in more than likely. I think he's, more so than De La Torre, or certainly more than John, at least at this point in their careers. So I do think Bronico's the replacement there. We know what we're going to get from him, which is a good thing. We like knowing what we're going to get from him. But Gianni's that X factor every game. If he plays poorly, we see the result on the field, right? If he plays well, we also see the result on the field, right? So to me, he's got to have that same second half Gianni that we saw against Cincinnati this past Saturday. If we see that, I think we're in good shape. And the other player, David Schnegg, right on that left side. We had mentioned the outside players left a lot to be desired, I guess, in the previous game. Him specifically, like you said, he just wasn't feeding Zaha. That matchup or that relationship wasn't there. And you got to have support from the back to be able to be good at the front. And so I think if Schnegg can have a good game, get forward, get those balls over to Zaha to let him work his magic, I think we're in good shape. That would be what I think.
Love it.
So you're sold on Bronico replacing Westwood tonight?
I'm not sold. 90%, I would say. I feel pretty confident.
I know you are.
De La Torre.
Oh, Lord.
I could see Gianni dropping back and playing the six.
A De La Torre up
correct. Exactly. I see exactly that, right? I see Gianni being a little bit deeper than he would normally be, and then Bronico.
The one thing that scares me about that, though, is Gianni does like to go forward. I worry that he might get a little caught forward, and then we're stuck with him.
With Reem trying to catch up with people from
and Morrison Ajuman having to run his ass off to make awesome tackles.
That's true as well.
Well, so, what are we thinking?
Can we get do y'all want to come in and give us a little prediction? We got the rest of the tailgate crew. I don't know if they're going to come, not come. One of them's hiding from us right now. Looking for a ball over there. They may not, but we'll go ahead and jump in and give our predictions, at least for the score tonight. Obviously, Gabby can edit in how wrong or right we are at the end. Shout out Gabby, by the way, best producer in the game. But so I'll go first, I guess this time. I don't typically. So I will say tonight is actually going to be a repeat of the game a couple weeks ago. Charlotte 2, New York City FC, NYCFC 1.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong.
We get all 3 points tonight, just as we did a couple weeks ago. And just taste that sweet victory.
Oh, the sweet victory.
I would love
goal scorers for the night. I think Zaha's certainly going to be important. I think he's got to get one of them. And then the second one for the night, how do you go against the Mallorcan Magician, right? I mean, that's a very cookie cutter pick, I guess, overall. But I mean, when they're the best for a reason. So I'm going to go with those two to score and Charlotte to get all 3 points. You see some of the rest of our crew joining us in. We'll let them jump in here at the end. Amy, I'll let you go next.
Well, I'm hoping that we turn it around. I'm hoping that we somehow bring the energy to the bank tonight. And because we are playing for the crown, I'm going to hope that the For the Crown puts up the 4 spot.
Wow.
So I'm going 4-1.
What's going on? Doctor. I'm done. Cut the show. I'm done. Take me off.
For the crown, of course. And I'm going to go Zaha, Biel, Ajiman, and Archie.
Okay.
Aji with the head.
I like
Yes.
that. I like that. I'm going, we have not had a clean sheet in a while. Tonight's the night. I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory. And I've got a Zaha goal and a Toklamati goal. I think he got off the schneid a little bit, and he's going to have another one tonight.
Nice.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then we have our girls here. Before we even get into that, though, shout out Caitlin and her soccer team who are in the final. Do we know what day that is yet, by the way? Do we have a date?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, we'll figure that part out. Next week, we will bring that to you as well. But, yeah, their team won. Yeah, hey, Penguins, baby, all day, going to the ship. So, Caitlin, tell us what you think.
I'm going with a 5-0.
Holy
sheet.
cow.
That's close to what my team scored. But I'm going with the Zaha, Toklamati, Archie, Pep Biel, and I have to go with my boy, Ajiman. He's been on a roll with those header goals.
That's right. Absolutely.
Wrong number,
Wrong-
right
wrong-
name.
Yeah, yeah.
Wrong
Just
number,
cover the
right
number,
name.
but same name. What about you?
So before I say my prediction, honestly, I'm not gonna give Zaha a goal because he did nothing last game.
Oh.
That part's true.
So my goal scores are Pep Biel,
What's your
Nathan
score?
Byrne,
Nathan Byrne.
5-0.
Oh, my.
Tonight.
Nathan Byrne,
2
Pep
fouls.
Biel, Toke, Grant,
Okay.
and Diani.
Hey, all
All
right.
right.
Couple midfield goals. At the end of the day, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 predictions. They're all the same at the end
They're
of the day.
all
It's 3
win.
points for the crown. That's what matters. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. And
For
glad
sure.
that we could bring you this live from the stadium. We're about to walk in here in a few minutes, I'm sure. Can't wait to see what happens. Again, thank you all. And as always, it is
For the crown. Hey, I might do that.
It was cool. How do I turn this off?